pride, courage, sacrifice. Nobody knows the meaning of those words better than the men and women who serve in our armed forces. They're the best soldiers in the world, and they deserve the best, right down to the uniforms they wear. The Department of Defense spends over $2 billion a year on military uniforms, and more than 20,000 men and women at hundreds of contractors across the country are working hard every day to make those uniforms great.
This is a typical knee patch that I put on, right here. This is my job, to sew across the top of the pants. I think highly of what I sew. I mean, I want my soldiers, to look good. I don't put out bad quality work. What I sew, it looks good.
Me siento orgulloso, ¿no? El saber que ellos están utilizando algo que con mis propias manos yo lo pude realizar.
But government records, news reports, and extensive interviews with workers show that many military contractors are operating domestic sweatshops, where huge workloads, various legal violations, and poverty wages are the norm.
I have to sew 480 military pieces a day in order to get $6.50. But if I sew less than the 480 a day, I get $6 an hour.
Yo tenía que hacer más de 400 piezas de estas por día. Más de 400 por día, que es casi imposible hacerlas.
My paycheck bring home in a 40 hours week was $190. A single person can't make it out for $200 a week with no kids, let alone me with 5 kids.
Realmente nadie puede subsistir con eso, porque solamente en el transporte uno tiene que gastar $24. Imagínese usted lo que le queda, para qué sirve, para la comida de allá.
My paycheck that I got this week, I had daycare that's due at the first part of the month, which I was supposed to pay last week. That was $180. My check was $190.
At many companies, workers cannot afford health care or other basic necessities. More than 60% of workers with children receive food stamps, and over 50% have their children on state health plans or Medicaid. Even though these workers are employed full-time, they must rely on government aid to help them make ends meet.
I rely on Medicaid to take care of my kids. It's like a program I'm in, it's called CHIPS. And that's how they go to the doctor. Like myself, I don't have insurance.
If I'm working for the government, I should be able to take care of my children on my own without assistance.
The government's always saying that people like me should get off government assistance and move out of public housing, try to buy some on your own. Here it is, we making $6 an hour. And $6 an hour with a family of 4, what is that? Nothing.
But low wages are not the only problems these workers must endure. When workers at some factories tried to form a union to improve their wages and working conditions, company owners fired pro-union workers and threatened to shut down the facilities, both violations of U.S. labor law.
Inmediatamente comenzaron ellos a votarnos a varios. Yo fui el primero a quien ellos despidieron. Después siguieron más personas y más personas. En total ellos despidieron en ese lazo de tiempo por inconformidad unos 15 trabajadores aproximadamente.
In addition to breaking U.S. labor laws, many companies have extensive health and safety violations. Government records show that military uniform contractors have been cited for over 120 health and safety violations over the past several years. Common injuries include broken bones, respiratory problems, and skin rashes from chemicals, as well as lacerations and punctures from unguarded machines. Racial discrimination is also pervasive. A group of workers at one contractor filed charges with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and recently filed a discrimination lawsuit. Despite all of these violations, military contractors continue to receive generous subsidies at the state and local level.
They got a tax break, a big tax break. And they promised that they would bring more jobs to Columbus, Mississippi. They have not done that.
No, ese es un dinero que nosotros mismos como ciudadanos, con nuestros impuestos, nuestros taxes, nosotros lo pagamos al gobierno para que estén abusando de los trabajadores.
Meanwhile, responsible apparel companies that follow the law and pay decent wages and benefits are unable to compete with sweatshop prices and are shutting down. At a time when workers across the nation are struggling to support their families, government contractors should be providing decent jobs for U.S. citizens. Unfortunately, many contractors are making millions of dollars by running sweatshops, and taxpayers are footing the bill.
You know, way we hear about people overseas work for a little or nothing, and the abuse and treatment that you get, it makes us feel like we're that way. And you know, a lot of people in the plant, they'll get so angry, they'll say, we ain't in the slavery days no more.
And these people are going over there fighting for us, and we slaving over here for them. We make these clothes at a low, you know, cheap pay, and they going over there fighting for us. Some of them dying, getting blowed up. And every time I go to work, every day I think, I'm making clothes for somebody to put on to die. They over there fighting for me and my children so we can have freedom, and we ain't got a decent living.